You're an Eddie fan, huh?
Yeah.
He crashed around here somewhere.
Yeah, he crashed on the A4. Far away.
What's that? Some time ago, huh?
1960.
60?
Time. Smashed his head.
What'd he do? Come off the road?
It was a taxi. Him and Gene Vincent. Come back from a gig at the Hippodrome. Taxi crashed.
Bristol Hippodrome?
Yeah.
The lamppost.
Step one, you find some girl to love. Step two, she falls in love with you. Step three, you kiss and hold her tightly. But it sure seems like heaven to me.
The formula for heaven's very simple.
The Ford Consul was driving along very fast, and as it took the bend, it hit the curb across the road, and both the tyres went down, and then the Ford Consul swung right round and started coming backwards. Now with that, Eddie, in time-honoured fashion, caught hold of the girl, Sharon Sheely, American songwriter, around the neck and pulled her down over to his lap and covered her up. As the car was spinning backwards, it went straight into a concrete lamp post, and all the passengers in the back went right up into the roof and were flung right out onto the grass verge. Now, while this was going on, people, the neighbours, came out in their night clothes to give comfort to the other passengers. And remember, there was still luggage and everything all over the road. Pictures, sheet music, records were splashed all over the road, wreckage up the road. It was a disaster, actually, an absolute disaster, because no one knew who they were or anything else. So when the ambulance came, they were picked up and they were rushed to St. Martin's Hospital. Now, they got to St. Martin's Hospital around about 1:30 in the morning. Now, within the next 4 hours, no fewer than 9 doctors would be called to Eddie's bedside. Now, with that, one of the doctors was coming out after seeing Eddie. He looked very worried, and he went over to have a look to see how Gene Vincent was. And Gene Vincent looked up to the doctor and said, "If you can save Eddie's life, I'll give you $10,000. And the surgeon said, "You can offer me $10 million. There's nothing more we can do."
My next memory was just coming to on some wet, damp grass out in a cow pasture where we'd all been thrown from the car. I remember Gene Vincent crawling over to see how I was feeling, telling me that Eddie was fine. He was sitting in the back seat of the car having a cigarette. He was just a bit shaken up, and right then and there I knew. Because if there was any way Eddie could have gotten to me, he would have been there beside me, not Gene Vincent. And then I went out again, and the next time I came to, I was in an ambulance, and I was holding Eddie's hand. He looked so beautiful. And I looked up, because for one moment I thought maybe he had come to regain consciousness, but he didn't. And I looked up, and the ambulance driver told me that something told him we were in love, and so he locked our hands together. And I remember thanking him. And I remember just pleading with God, please don't let me go under again. Don't let me go unconscious, because I knew I'd never see him again. I fought so hard not to go unconscious, but I did. And that was the last time I ever saw him. He lived 8 hours, as you know, and then he died. I was in a hospital for a long time.
The formula is really very simple. Just follow the rules and you will see an as life travels on and things do go wrong, just follow steps 1, 2, and 3. Well, that sure sounds like heaven to me.
This is the actual spot where it all happened back in 1960. If we just bow our heads and have just this minute silence in memory of Eddie Cochran, I think that's yourself.
I think it was John.
If we have a minute silence.